Hi, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
How you
Oh,
doing?
hello there. Hi. Oh, hello. Oh, hi. So hang on, I just need to unmute yourself. We always have this. Oh gosh, I feel underdressed now. You put me to shame.
Okay.
If it's okay, I'll take my jacket off. I wasn't.
Please, yeah, get into your swimwear. Hi, I'm Kevin, but I don't think we've met before. Is your name actually Fred?
No, I'm Cynthia York, and I've been a member of Harrow and Wembley since about 1954. But I live in Hove now, so I'm.
That's right, because Alan explained that this is by Neil James who's taking the service. I know it's Ivor's Yacht site, isn't it?
It's Ivor's Yacht site, yes.
And I know Alan Alan Solomon did explain to me that you lived in Hove. Now it's all coming sort of, and you know the Zatzes as well.
We've all been friends for over 60 years.
Yeah, I've heard all about the backgrounds.
Yes. So usually I come up for Ivor's yacht site.
I think I remember have seen you before I do remember now when you did come up for Ivor's yacht site from
and
Hove.
I come up for Yontif as well, but that's all. So I did join Brighton, but I wasn't too happy. So,
really? Yeah, and they've got a progressive shawl there by the cricket.
They have, yes. But so I was a member of two shores, so I decided I'd stay with Wembley because
hey, we must be doing something right.
You see, to us, it's always been Wembley.
That's good. I love the loyalty. You get loyalty points for all those years.
Well, we all grew up together, and it's been a long time, over 60 years. So
that's a life. Well, it is a life.
Well, we started a junior club, and we had a senior club. Then we had Hugenu. Then we had young marrieds.
Wow.
And our children grew up together, and so
it's all been a journey.
It has, yes.
And it's a shame now we don't have that kind of social interaction.
No, I know. It is quite sad, but
it's a shame that any potential new members, what can we offer? Well, we have services and the odd kind of social thing, but it's not even without this lockdown. It's not the same. Communities tend to work differently these days.
Well, I'm in Brighton. There's about 6 shores down here. None of them speak to each other. You know, it's.
How it would be Jewish if
there is an Orthodox one in Church Road in Hove, which is, and it was taken
in Church Road. I like it.
New Church Road, and it Tony Bloom, who owns Brighton and Hove Football Club.
Oh gosh.
With somebody called Sugar, not Alan Sugar. So
Sugar.
One of his sons are rebuilding it, and they're building flats, and they're going to have a community hall, and we haven't even got a proper deli down here.
So what do these farmers do for food, Len?
Well, they get it imported from London.
That's interesting.
Yes, some people come up to Stanmore, or they get it delivered. You can get your meat delivered. And but they say there's 6,000 Jews in Brighton, but not very many of them put their head above the parapet. Shall we put it that way? One shawl doesn't speak to another shawl, and you know.
Oh, well, typical boycasses. What? Cynthia, I'm really interested. So, I know there's a progressive shawl.
Yes.
So, what other? And there's obviously an Orthodox one. So, a Reform shawl. What are the?
There's about 3 Orthodox shawls here. There is a Reform shawl. They're knocking that down as well. That's the congregation there is getting smaller. The Brighton one sold off half their shawl at one time. That's Rabbi Eli Tikvasera. You've probably heard of Eli.
I've heard the name. Obviously, Neil's probably have you. Yeah.
And so when I came here nearly 9 years ago, we had services at Raleigh Hall, which is a local place. Now they have rebuilt it, and it's reopened, but they don't have a burial scheme. And I've been paying into the Wembley burial scheme forever.
Oh,
so Eli is a first-class rabbi, but it's quite orthodox, the service, compared to what we're used to at Wembley. I mean, when I joined Wembley, and at the end of the club evening on a Saturday night, we used to say the Shema in English. Can you believe?
Well, nothing wrong with that. Actually, I think that's a good idea, because we kind of, even I do remember from my Hader days, the translation. I really think, especially a powerful prayer like that, the English version.
Well, none of us knew. Vivian Simmons was our first permanent rabbi, and I was confirmed, as we called it in those days, in a white dress and white hat with a couple of other girls. That Kabbalat mitzvah and bar mitzvah even wasn't even. It was the days of Max Sauter when he started it.
These are all people I've never met, but I've heard of. They're legends.
Yes, but it was very English. But and there was a little hut, which was the shore, and the rest of the ground was tennis courts. So everybody used to play tennis.
Tennis. Oh, that's really interesting.
That's where the new shore was built on there.
Right, so Neil, we're going to have to do the whole service in English just for Cynthia.
No problem. No problem.
No Hebrew allowed.
No, there's much more Hebrew today than there used to be.
There is. Kevin, I'm particularly impressed, though, that you said when you were at Cheder, you were learning to translate the Shema. I mean, that's beyond most people's experience of Cheder.
Yeah, I just read it. I used to do it kind of, was it parrot fashion? I didn't actually do it without.
Yeah. Well, my Hebrew is pretty ropey these days because I don't use it very often.
Oh, well, because we're going to ask you whether you wanted to, because it's your site.
Would you mind if I did?
From the scrolls. You don't want to do that, then I take it.
Would you mind if I didn't? Normally, when I come, I sort of open this,
open your ark. I do remember you've. Unfortunately, we can't transport an ark to home.
Yeah.
So
I just want to be with you, and this time
you're most welcome. Would you like? There are some English blessings, maybe for the royal family. Would you like to do that? You know, the prayer for the royal family. They need all the help they can get at the moment. So
I could do the one for the royal family.
How about that?
Which service are we doing this morning?
We're doing service number 3.
My friend Robin's here. Welcome,
prayer
Joseph.
Morning, Kevin.
Morning, Zoe and Janet.
Can I try my sound before anyone else?
Yeah, of course. Well, you're gonna.
I was here ages ago, but no one else was here, so I couldn't.
Hi, Cindy.
Morning, Cynthia.
Yes.
The blessing is on. The prayer is on page 484. And we'll let Joseph check his sound while you're finding that.
So how does this sound, everyone? La da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 dum dum dum. How does that sound?
Beautiful.
Yeah, the levels
that's fine. That's perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely, that you got it right.
Yeah, the balance is good.
Are you going to
Do we leave out Prince Andrew these days or not?
It's up to you.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
I think Boris, we could introduce Boris into it if you want. You can name names, but
I'm just a visitor. I'm just leaving the rabbi. Someone else to worry about that.
I don't think so.
It's up to you.
No, I will read that on 484.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
for
you.
the Queen. Thank you very much for asking me.
That's all right. We can't get in. Hello, Jen. And I take it. Well, first of all, this is Cynthia. This is Joseph. I think have you met before?
I'm not sure we have.
Well, I only come up for Yontov and on today for Ivor's Yacht site. That's all.
Okay. I wish you long
but
life.
I'm not sure if I've seen you before.
I was there last Rosh on Yom Kippur, so you might have seen me playing and conducting.
Well,
anyway.
You won't. I only noticed you, Joseph.
Nice to meet you, anyway.
Yeah,
and you too.
From home. Let me say, Cynthia. Do you mind if I change? Are you happy to have Fred? Can I change it to Cynthia? I'm finding it.
No.
Yes, I hate that name. Hello, Jano.
Hello. So you want to be Fred?
Hi, Fred.
Hi, Alan. How are you?
Hello. Hello, Neil.
Hello, nice to see you.
We've spoken but not actually met, but hello, Shabbat Shalom.
Yes, how do you do? And welcome.
Thank you.
Morning, Patsy.
Hiya.
Patsy, yeah.
Hi,
Hello,
Cindy.
Pat.
Hi,
How
Cindy.
are you?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, fine, thanks.
These are all the
Yeah,
originals.
Good to see you.
Yeah, and you too.
Not originals. We're youth club.
I know.
Yeah, we are.
Yes,
we are.
I
A
told them
long
all
time
about
ago,
it.
Janet, I hate to rub it in.
Oh, don't. Cindy,
Yeah.
yesterday I was wearing a top that I was wearing when we went to Vegas. How many years ago is that?
That was 1994.
94 years ago.
No, we went
I didn't know you were that old.
93. No, it was 93.
You see, Alan won't let me buy any new clothes. I have to.
You have to wait.
Send him down. I'll sort him out for you, Jan.
All right, darling.
We want to
Okay.
hear the stories of Vegas. That's what we want to hear. Scrap the service.
Oh, we had the most wonderful Californian.
What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas, so I don't hear any more.
It was fun, that holiday. Yes.
Well,
Wasn't
we
only
won't tell them, Cindy, we won't tell them what happened in Bath.
Oh, what goes in Bob's?
No.
we went there, Janet and I share out. We were born in the same year. So we went there with our husbands to celebrate our 50th birthdays. And we decided we'd go up before the boys, and there was a knock on the door. And because I was undressed, I opened the door and was behind it, and a pair of legs walked in, and I thought, I don't know those legs.
Oh gosh. Oh dear.
Too much information.
What about the incontinence then?
Oh,
Oh my god. Too much information.
love
Come
the
on.
incontinence.
Golden years.
Oh, they
We were
were
very,
we
Do that
didn't have
again.
lots.
We could zoom that again, actually.
Oh, please not. Anyway, hi, we've got Ursula here. We've got her as Granny.
Sorry.
Morning,
Ju-
Ursula.
Ursula, are you able to unmute? Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Ursula. Welcome.
I managed to do it.
Well done.
I'm
Listen,
quite proud of myself.
not bad for a teenager.
No, Jennifer did it more or less for me.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad. Good to see
Are you all well?
Yeah, but I miss our hugs.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
not-
I've missed you all.
We've missed you, especially about. It's good to have you here.
Hello, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Lindsay.
To see you people I haven't seen for a long time.
I
It's
know.
lovely. This is kind of good.
I'm too stupid to do it on the
But little,
computer.
you're
but
not. Listen,
I had a bit of help.
I needed help, and like obviously you had to be isolated as well, so it's been difficult.
Yeah.
Are you happy having your name Granny? Does that makes you seem old?
What?
Your name's Granny.
I better put my hearing aid. Well, I've got it on. Anyway,
Yeah, we've got your name as Granny on the side. Are you happy with that?
yes, I'm happy.
That we'll call you Gran. Okay.
Oh,
And Cynthia, you're happy still to be Fred, are you?
do I have to get my book?
Fred. I prefer Fred to Cynthia.
Okay, fair enough. We won't. You might want to have your Cynthia.
Would you like me to get the book
It will help.
for
Just
the
so
service?
we'll find out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I've got to get my book. Come to think of it,
Oh, well, I'll get it and I'll...
we won't start without you.
Good morning, Paul.
Are you starting at 11?
It'll be a Jewish 11 o'clock because
Okay, well...
some people get delayed a little bit with logging in. So,
Oh, well, you've got another half hour. I'll come back.
and we don't have to worry about rushing for finish. Yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Good luck. Now, how old is Ursula? Does anyone know how old Ursula is? She's in her 90s. Janet, do you know how old Ursula is?
Yeah.
It's about 93, 94. Anyway, she's doing really well. It's really good to see. We haven't seen her since lockdown, so she's finally got on, which is good news. Hannah, I noticed you had some flowers in the background. Was that a present?
Unmute yourself.
That's it.
Those are my Shabbat flowers that have just been given to me, which is really nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, a
Was that-
bunch of lilies, which I love, and a bunch of mixed yellow and white flowers, which would be very uplifting. Hello, Cindy. How lovely to see you.
And you too, Hannah. How are you?
I'm very well. Hello, Joseph. You have appeared.
He has. He's been around for ages. He's been around longer than.
I have to explain. Some people call me Fred and some people call me Cindy. So that's why Hannah's just called me Cindy. So
Okay.
don't get too confused. All
Yeah.
right.
So what will, especially when Neil might introduce you for your prayer, what would you prefer to be introduced as?
I think you better call me Cynthia, really.
Cynthia,
Well,
that's the
even though I
form.
hate it. Even though I hate it.
Are you Frederica?
I just wanted to say, Cindy, that I noticed last night when I was at the joint meeting that you have yard site for your beloved.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I wish you long life.
Thank you. It's 24 years, Hannah. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Wow.
Well, it's not
Terrible.
yeah,
Time passes.
and I'm still wearing the same clothes.
Yeah, we've noticed.
Why am I known as Granny? I'm
That's how
Ursula.
you named yourself. Shall we? We can change you. Do you want to change to Ursula,
Yes, please.
Granny? Because it makes you seem old when, of course, you're not old, are
I
you?
hate it. I'm not your granny. I'm not that old. No. Although I don't know, my oldest granddaughter's 50.
Really?
Your granddaughter's 50. So
Huh?
that must make you at least a big
50
age.
years old, my granddaughter. My oldest great-grandson's 21.
Wow.
So potentially you could be a great, can't you?
Oh, I am, yes.
Great. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got 8 great-grand.
Wow, gosh. The dynasty is growing. And how have you been, Ursula? Have you?
Yeah, I've been fed up, as you
I
can
bet.
imagine.
But
But
you've
I'm
been able
not
to-
the only one.
Yeah, listen.
Are you all right?
Yeah, generally, yeah, it's just adapting. I mean, I don't think
But
it's
at
easy for
least there's
anyone.
2 of you, I suppose. But
Yeah,
I'm
but,
on my
yeah,
own.
but it's still difficult. It's being stuck in the same house sometimes, long hours. But you just adapt. But it's not easy. But it's just trying to keep yourself sane, which I think I've just about managed. I think the jury's out there. I think.
How are you, Hannah?
I'm very well, yes. I know what you mean about being fed up, because we managed to have a day out to Yorkshire yesterday by car. And I had a feeling of lightness as I drove out of London. I felt like singing out loud. It was just away. And
Even the Great
well
Escape.
worth it. Sorry?
The Great Escape. You could have seen.
Can I just say that, Janet, I really enjoyed the book group. The only thing was, because it was on Zoom, we couldn't have any discussion about the book. So I know we couldn't argue either or interrupt, but there wasn't any discussion.
It was difficult because we all read individuals. The next one in July will be totally different because it's just the one book. And I will be able to. I will be able to host that because we now have a laptop, so I can see everybody, so I can host it.
Is that Sarah York?
And it's very nice to see
Yes,
both you and
Sarah
Alan
York up top.
together.
Mute ourselves again.
Right. I
Yeah.
leave the floor to somebody else for the moment.
George and Mary, we can only just see your heads. Do you want to move yourself or your screen back a bit? Because we like to see more of you. Not too much, but. And that is Cynthia York, whoever's asked whether that's Cynthia York.
Is that better?
No, I can't see George.
No, well, it's just the way that the position of their screen. That's better, much better. Now just unmute yourself, and then we got visual as well as sound.
I meant to phone you, George and Mary. How are you?
They're muted.
You've lost your voice, Mary. Or George. That's it.
And George is not there.
I am.
Yes, he.
Yeah.
Move the thing
I've
over.
got to move this a bit.
No, we don't need to get up.
Yes, I do. 'Cause I've got to get something to do.
It's technical.
Oh, there you are.
It's getting
You've reappeared.
Yeah. And
No,
again,
we can't get the iPad to the right angle.
yeah. And I need to explain to everybody, Stephen's not at our shul at the moment.
Oh.
Neil, this is the backdrop. Have you been to our sanctuary, Neil?
Not your no.
But not the cult. Well, this is what Stephen's got. It is a virtual view
Very nice.
at our sanctuary.
No, I'm on.
So if you can imagine that you're on the pulpit, because I think when we arranged for you to do this service, this is where we expected you to be. So
Yeah, of course. Is that upstairs at Vesper Road?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. They've renovated. It's very bright now. They've brightened it up a bit.
or maybe it's the camera work. But it's nice. I've always liked seeing Stephen because it does give us some feeling that we're still kind of at some kind of sanctuary of ours. So
Yeah. You have to have a good enough quality camera to be able to do the virtual backdrop, though, I found. Otherwise, half my body disappears in the.
Oh, I like your red cappy, George.
Kevin, how do you want to invite people to participate? Do we do it at the start of the service? Or
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It varies. It's up to you. But yeah, what we like is a volunteer, perhaps, to do the Torah blessings.
Okay.
I know Alan's doing the Haftorah. That's already been kind of arranged.
Right.
I think we've got Paul rather. Okay. We've got Cynthia or Fred. I keep forgetting what we better to do the prayer for the royal family. So perhaps somebody would like to do a prayer for the community. I think we've got Maureen. Yeah, Maureen will do the prayer for the community. And anyone want to do the prayer for Israel? We've got George. That's good, George. Neil, is there any other prayers that you feel that you would like? We've got quite a lot of willing volunteers to give you a break and to give someone else a chance to participate.
Sure. Let me just double check. Who was doing Torah?
We've got Paul. Was it Paul or one of the Zats is Paul? Paul Zats doing the Torah blessings. Great. I don't know if you don't have to formally call them up. That's up to you, but we don't generally.
Sure. Just so I know who's coming.
Yeah, Alan has already volunteered to have Torah.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, so Alan's done his homework. And we've got Cynthia doing the Queen and Parliament and everybody else who definitely needs a prayer.
I thought perhaps the opening prayer after Martovu, it might be nice if someone wanted to read
that's a good one. Anyone would like to do that English prayer after the Martovu? We've got Janet.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We've got, and Lindsay's normally a very good reader if you've got any for Lindsay.
Yeah, so Lindsay, would you
I was waving to the baby. I'm not volunteering. I'm not volunteering unless you're desperate.
You're down, Lindsay, sorry.
What am I down for?
Lindsay, would you read on page 119?
Hello. Yeah.
119.
Yeah.
All the nice people. We're doing service.
Mika's here. Anyone else? Any other volunteers? Anything else you think can?
Shabbat Shalom.
Mind you, this way, Neil, I don't think you'll be doing any idea of the service at all.
I'll tell you, I pre-recorded my sermon. I'll just walk out. I'll just go and deal with the
Which service are we reading this morning?
I'm sure it'll be announced.
Okay.
And you're going to share I think with the Torah reading, Neil's going to share it. You've got the facility to share my screen now.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously, if you have got a prayer, but you can follow it from that, but it might be easier to actually follow it from the screen share, which makes life a bit easier. We're nearly ready to start, I think. Yes, 5 past. So could I just introduce, if maybe some of you haven't met, we've got Rabbi Neil James taking our service.
Morning, everyone.
So welcome. I think it's the first time you've actually led one of our services. And without any pressure on that, Neil's actually going to be leading our High Holy Day services as well. So it's a chance you get to know us. So this is like kind of the sort of first experience before that. God knows how the actual High Holy Day services are actually going to work. That's still work in progress.
I'm not even sure God knows at the moment. But
I don't even God knows. Yeah, but it's not that. But we are looking forward to however we do it, for that Neil to obviously be kind of instigating it. So yeah, you're most welcome. And you seem to you've obviously got the names, you know the people. It's sort of quite a lively, friendly lot. So.
Lovely.
So,
well, should we get? Do you want to get underway?
Yes. So
Joseph,
everyone's going to be muted, including me, apart from Joseph and Neil. And Neil will announce when somebody does a reading, and you unmute and unmute yourself.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Well, it's really lovely to be here, and Shabbat Shalom, everybody. The service we're going to be reading from is service number 3. Which can be found in your Siddur on page 117.
Right. I'm just now muting everyone, and then I'll ask Neil and Joseph to unmute yourselves.
So we're going to be leading from service number 3 on page 117. And we begin with Ma Tovu.
Ma tovu ohale Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohale Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Vani barov chastecha, Avo vedecha eshtachave el hechal kodshecha ve'yiratecha ma tovu ochalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ochalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Adonai ahavti me'on bedecha, u'mekom mishkan kavodecha. Vani eshtachave ve'echra, Efracha lifnei Adonai osi. Ma tovu ochalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ochalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Vani tefilati lecha Adonai, et ratzon Elohim barov chazdecha aneni, be'emet yisheha, ma tovu ochalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael.
With these words that would traditionally have been recited as you crossed the threshold of your synagogue, we perhaps need an extra verse for as you cross the threshold into your broadband domain on Zoom. We continue our service, and I invite Janet to read at the bottom of page 117, the prayer at the foot of the page. Janet, can you take yourself off mute? Hang on, we can't hear you.
Are you able to unmute yourself, Janet? There we are.
Yeah,
We've done it.
I've lost it. Have you got it now?
We've got you. We can hear you.
Right. We thank you, O God, for this new day, for morning sun and evening star, for flowering of tree and flowing of tide, for life-giving rains and cooling breezes, for the changing seasons, for the cycle of growth and decay, of life and death. We awake and behold a new day. O God, renew us unto life. Teach us to recognize your presence in creation. Careful for your gifts, may we dedicate all our powers to your service.
Thank you. And we read responsively on page 118, or all together as you wish. You're all on mute. You can be saying what you like. We read on page 118. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for eyes to see. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for clothes to wear. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the joy of freedom. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the power to rise. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for providing for all our needs. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for daily renewing our strength. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for the blessing of sleep and the privilege of waking to a new day.
Amen.
Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam baruch hu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Hamhulal b'fi amo. Meshubach umfo'al b'lshon chasidav v'avadav. Bishvachot uvizmirot. Nagadelecha v'namlichecha makenu yachid chei ha'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai melech mehulal v'tishbachot. And Lindsay, if I can invite you to read towards the middle of page 119 until the top of page 120.
Unless he lets us in again, you see. Can't get in.
With the coming of day and night, I will enter the covenant of God. And when evening and morning depart, I will recite God's decrees. God Most High, you are my righteousness. You teach me goodness. You are the fountain of knowledge, the dwelling place of holiness, and the summit of glory. Eternal might and majesty are yours. I will choose whatever you teach me, gladly accepting your judgments. As soon as I move my hands and feet, I will praise your name. When I go out and when I come in, when I lie down and when I rise up. When I rest on my bed, I will sing your praise. And in the company of my friends, I will praise you with the words of my mouth.
And we continue with words of praise with Psalm 92.
ולזמר שמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשו ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינו, כי שמחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. צדיקת מה יפרח, כארץ בלבנון יזכה. שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו. עוד ינובון ושבע, דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני סורי, ולא עוולתה בו.
We turn to page 135. Page 135 for the Yishtabach. Yishtabach Shemcha La'ad Malkeinu, Ha'el HaMelech HaGadol VaHaKadosh B'Shamayim uVa'aretz, Ki Lecha Na'eh Adonai Eloheinu V'Elahei Avotenu, Shir Ushvacha, Halel V'Zimra, Brachot v'hodaot me'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai, habocheh b'shirei zimra. We continue as a community of prayer with our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu.
Nine, 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 nine. Nine, 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 nai, 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 nai. Baruch hu et Adonai, Hamborach, Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. Nai, 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 nai. Nai, 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 nai. Nai, 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 nai.
Please read with me on page 136. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, Maker of light and Creator of darkness, Author of peace and Creator of all things. In your mercy you give light to the earth and all who live on it, and in your goodness you renew creation continually, day by day. How manifold are your works, O God! With wisdom have you made them all. The world is full of your creations, your handiwork proclaims your praise, the radiant stars bear witness to your glory. We praise you, O God, Creator of light. Ahava rabbah haftanu Adonai Eloheinu, chemla gedola v'tera chamalta aleinu. Avinu malkeinu ba'avur avotenu shabatchu v'cha, v'tlamdem chukei chayim, kein techonenu utlamdenu, ותן בליבנו להבין ולהשכיל, לשמוע, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות ולקיים את כל דברי תורתך באהבה. והאר עינינו בתורתך, לדבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. קיוונו וחרת ליחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני, הבוחר בעמו ישראל, באהבה.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Shem Kavod, Malhuto, Leolam, Leolam Vaed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
אמת ויציב וישר וקיים, וטוב ויפה הדבר הזה עלינו לעולם ועד. אמת שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, מלכנו מלך אבותינו, יוצרנו צור ישועתנו, הודינו ומצילנו מעולם ושמך, אין אלוהים זולתך. Emet atahu rishon v'atahu acharon. Umi baladecha ein lanu Moshiach. Mimitzrayim ga'altanu Adonai Eloheinu. Mibeit avadim peritanu. Moshe u'Miriam u'vnei Yisrael. Lecha anu shira b'simcha rabah. V'yamru chulam.
Kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder v'kodesh, norat hilot osefele, norat hilot osefele. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים, בשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. So Yisrael, kuma bezrat Yisrael, Go'aleinu Adonai Tzavaot Shemo, Kadosh Yisrael, Baruch Ata Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
We continue with the Tefillah on page 140. Page 140. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agid hilatecha. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, V'Zochei Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Lifnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen. Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Ata Rav lo Hoshia, Mashiv Haruach u'Morit HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh u'Morit HaTal, Mechalkel Chayim b'Chesed, Mechayei Metim b'Rachamim Rabim. Somech noflim v'rofei cholim u'matir asurim u'makayem emunato l'shenei afa. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot u'mi domelach melech meimit u'machayei u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lahachayot metim baruch ata Adonai mechayei hametim. Nekadesh et shemcha ba'olam kashem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom ככתוב על יד נביאך.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו.
כבודו מלא עולם.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
ממקומך מלכנו תופיע ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We read together on page 142. You inspired our ancestors to hallow this day for your service. When upon its coming we pause to contemplate our life, we learn anew that we do not live by bread alone, but also by the spiritual nourishment we receive when we open ourselves to your influence. We thank you for the Sabbath day and for the opportunity it offers to enhance the quality of our lives. We thank you for its joy and for its peace. May our worship help us to take into our hearts its message of holiness and consecrate all our days by devotion to what is true, beautiful, and good.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג. מקדשי שבי שבת, כולם יספרו ויתענגו מטובך שבת, והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו. עמדת ימים, אותו קראת שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
We read on page 143 together. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam b'ahavat tekabel, u'tehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch ata Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yir'ah na'avod. Modim anachnu lach, she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu v'elahei avotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayenu magen yish'enu atahu ledor vador. Nodeh lecha u'nesapeh tehillatcha. Al chayenu המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלאותיך וטובתך, שבכל עת ערב ובוקר וצהריים. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך, ולך נאה להודות. We read the prayers for peace on page 144. Grant peace, welfare and blessing, grace, love, and mercy to us and to all Israel, your people. As a loving parent, bless us with the light of your presence. For by the light of your presence, eternal God, you have revealed to us the law of life, a love of kindness and righteousness, blessing and mercy, life and peace. For it is good in your sight that your people Israel and all peoples be blessed at all times with your gift of peace. We praise you, O God, the source of peace. We pause for a few moments of silence before we conclude our tefillah with words of song.
עושה שלום במרמה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרמיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרמיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל בני אדם. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל בני אדם.
May the Most High, source of perfect peace, grant peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. And we say, Amen. And we continue with our Torah service, which is on page 481. Page 481. When we come to the Torah reading, I will be sharing my screen, so you'll be able to see what I'm reading on the screen, and everyone will be able to follow with me. So if you haven't got a chumash to hand, don't worry about it. We continue with the Torah service.
אין כמוך באלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך מלכות המלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yavarech et amo v'shalom.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu l'Adonai ti, unoromama Shemo, Yachdav.
Adonai Hagdula, V'Hagvura, V'Hatiferet, V'Hanetza, V'Hod, V'Hanetza, V'Hod. Ki chol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz, L'cha Adonai hamamlacha v'hamitnaseh, L'chol la'rosh.
Before we read the Torah, I wanted to just share something with you that I learnt only this week in preparation for this service. We're reading from Parashat Korach, that famous story of Korach challenging Moses and Aaron and ultimately meeting his demise as he gets swallowed into the ground with all of his rebels with him. And actually, there's a lot of debate over what exactly is going on with the story of Korach, whether it's a story read back into the Torah from the time when the temple stood, and the Levites didn't like the fact that the Kohanim had all the power in the temple. And so they rebelled a bit against the Kohanim, and the Kohanim put them back in their place. And then the story gets read back into the story of Korach, who of course was of the tribe of Levi, and so was Aaron, but Aaron and Moses are in charge and the Levites have to do their bidding. And perhaps that's what's going on with the story that leads to their rebellion and leads to their fire pans, the challenge of bringing their fire pans out. And Moses says, the one who God favors in terms of leading the community, their fire pan will burst into flames. And of course, it's the fire pans of Moses and Aaron, not of Korach and the rebels. And they get swallowed up by the earth and meet their end. We're not actually reading that section, though. We're reading the section that just follows. And we're going to hear about what happens to the fire pans, and I'll talk about that in my sermon perhaps. But before we get there, the Torah records an amazing incident of a plague breaking out as a result of the children of Israel saying, "You killed us, you're killing us off, Moses and Aaron. Look what you've done to Korach and his rebels, you're killing us." And a plague breaks out. And it's on the subject of this plague, I wanted to share with you a manuscript from, if this works, from the 18th century in Italy. Now, this manuscript records the practice by which the community would, in an event of a plague, walk through the plague zones, reciting the words that would have been recited by Aaron, or in fact, the verses that we're going to read today, reciting them through the crowds of the plague. Because, of course, in the 18th century, in the 17th century, the whole of the medieval period, no one really understood what was going on. And so we get these manuscripts developing that record a ritual of trying to cause the plague to abate by using the same mechanism that Aaron uses in the Bible. You can see this manuscript details, Avinu Pashanu Tsaranu, we have sinned before you, which is familiar to you from the words of Yom Kippur. And there's one other poem prayer I want to share with you. Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the universe, Bisman Shebeit HaMikdash Kayam, when the temple still stood, the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, would light incense, an incense offering, a sweet-smelling offering, to make atonement for your people of Israel. But now, because of our sins, the temple has been destroyed and our worship has been annulled. We don't have a priest, we don't have the fire pan, we don't have the coals, the burning coals, we don't even have an altar or incense. We have nothing left before us except for, quite remarkable, Ela siach siftotenu, just the words of our mouths. And then they go on to repeat the words of the Torah to describe how they would walk through these plague zones. And of course, we know the plague was always a time of great anxiety for the Jewish community, because it was often the Jews who were held as responsible for the outbreak of plague. And so these attempts to cause the plague to abate were significant. And of course, today we're sat here on our screens. We have a different sense of what health and illness is. And at the end of the Torah reading and after the blessings, we'll recite a prayer for healing as well, which is our own way of responding to our needs as a community today, not for miraculous intervention, but of hopes and prayers for wellness and healing for all those around us. So I'm going to invite Paul, I think, was doing the Torah blessings, I think. Is that right? So Paul, I'm just going to share the screen with the Torah portion on and invite you to recite the blessings, which can be found on page 482 of your Siddur. Over to you, Paul.
לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. The Eternal One spoke to Moses, saying, Emor el Elazar ben Aharon HaKohen, vayarem et hamachtot ben hasrefa ve'et ha'esh zareh hal'a ki kadeshu. Say to Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, lift up the fire pans from amidst of the fire, the outbreak of fire that God has caused, ve'et esh zareh hal'a, and push the fire that's still within them to one side, because these fire pans have been consecrated or sanctified. Ki kadeshu. Et machtot hachata'im ha'ele benafshotam va'asu otam rikuei fachim tzipui lamizbeach ki hikrivum lifnei Adonai v'ikdashu v'yihiyu le'ot lifnei Yisrael. The fire pans of the sinful fire pans which they gave with their lives, you shall hammer them out as a plate metal, and make them as a plating or covering around the altar, because they have been brought near, or he brought them near before God, and they have been sanctified, and they will be as a sign for the children of Israel. ויקח אלעזר הכהן את מחטות הנחושת אשר הקריבו השרופים ויעקום ציפוי למזבח. So Eleazar the priest took the fire pans, the brass or copper fire pans, which had been brought close in the outbreak and the fire outbreak, and hammered them into plate as a covering for the altar. זיכרון לבני ישראל, למען אשר לא יקרב איש זר, אשר לא מזרע אהרון הוא להקטיר קטורת לפני אדוני, ולא יהיה כקורח וכעדתו כאשר דיבר אדוני ביד משה לו. They shall be as a remembrance for the children of Israel, in order that they don't bring strange fire again, or no one who isn't from the seed of Aaron shouldn't bring strange fire as an offering, an incense offering before the Eternal One, and they shouldn't be as Korach or as his congregation, just as the Eternal One spoke by the hand of Moses. ויילונו כל הדת בני ישראל ממחרת על משה ועל אהרון לאמור, אתם ממיתם את עם אדוני. The congregation of the children of Israel on the following day complained. This is the feature of the book of Numbers. It shouldn't be called the book of Numbers. It should be called the book of complaining Jews. They complain again to Moses and to Aaron against him, and they say, you're causing the people of God to die. ויהי בהקהל העדה על משה ועל אהרון, ויפנו אל אוהל מועד, והנה כיסה הוא הענן, וירא כבוד אדוני. And it was, as they were gathering the congregation against Moses and Aaron, they turned towards the Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting, and behold, the cloud had covered it, which is a sign that God could be met, and the glory of the Eternal One could be seen. Vayavor Moshe v'Aaron al pnei Ohel Moed, and so Moses and Aaron came before the tent of meeting. Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. And God said, the Eternal One said to Moses, saying, Heiromu mitoch ha'eda hazot v'achalei otam karaga. Vayiplu al pneihem. God says to Aaron and Moses, lift yourself away from amidst this congregation, for I'm going to finally wipe them out at this instant. And they fell upon their faces. Vayomer Moshe el Aharon, קח את מחתה ותן עליה אש מעל המזבח ושים קטורת והולך מהרה על העדה וכפר עליהם כי יצא הקצף מלפני אדוני החל הנגף. So Moses says to Aaron, take a fire pan and put in it some fire from upon the altar, and quickly put in it some incense and make haste, run in midst the congregation and make atonement for them. For the anger of God is going forth from before God and has started a plague. ויקח אהרון כאשר דיבר משה וירוץ אל תוך הקהל, והנה החל הנגף בעם, ויתן את הקטורת ויכפר על העם. So Aaron took, as Moses has told him, and ran amidst the congregation, for behold, the plague had broken out amongst the people. And he set some of the incense, spread some of the smell of the incense, and he made atonement for the people. V'ya'amod beina meitim uveina chayim v'te'atzar hamagefa. This is the verse that is used in these incantations by medieval communities. Aaron stood between the dead and between the living with the incense, and the plague was abated. ויהיו המתים במגפה 14,700 מלבד המתים על דבר קורח. And the number of those who died by the plague was 14,700, excluding those who had died on account of the matter with Korach. וישוב אהרון אל משה אל פתח אוהל מועד והמגפה נעצרה. And Aaron returned to Moses to the opening of the tent of meeting, And these are the words that get used in the prayers. Hamagefa ne'etzara, the plague was stopped. Over to you, Paul, for the blessings after the Torah reading.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam matah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Amen. And I said at this point, we would then have a prayer for healing. It's customary to have a Misha Beirach of some kind after the Torah reading, and it felt like a fitting place for me to share a prayer for healing at this point, since we're reading about plagues and we're reading about hearing about medieval opportunities to try and make healing. So as we pause for a moment in our service, I invite you to either name out loud to share as a community, or to name quietly to yourself on mute anyone who you are praying for healing for at this time. There's so many people in the world we're aware of in need of healing. We're praying for the doctors and nurses caring for them. We pray in particular of all those in need of healing. We pause for a moment to name those out loud. Misha Beirach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. Elna refana, Elna refana la, Elna refana, Elna refana la. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel and Leah, bless and send healing to the ones who are sick. In the words of Moses about his sister Miriam, we say, Elna Rafana La, God please heal them. Mi Shabeirach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah, hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. Elna refana, Elna refana la, Elna refana, Elna refana la. And we continue our service with the Haftarah, which changes tack slightly. The Haftarah is from the book of Samuel, and we're going to hear how the struggle in the congregation of Israel has been working itself out. They want a king appointed for them. Samuel is not so convinced that a king is what they need, and yet they are adamant that that's what they want, in spite of the warnings that may come with it. And so we hear the appointment of Saul, and then Samuel saying, look, I never did anything wrong. What was wrong with prophetic and priestly leadership? And nonetheless, Saul is appointed, and we then have the continuation of the monarchy and the dynasty that follows. But here we read about this moment of tension, change of leadership from Samuel to Saul. And I think it's going to be read by Alan. The blessings are going to be recited, and the Haftarah read by Alan. And the Haftarah we're reading is, let me see if I can bring it up on screen for you. It might be a slightly different translation to Alan's, but it's from 1 Samuel 11:14 to 12:11. Alan, over to you. Alan?
I think we might have lost him.
We might have lost him. Yeah. I can see Janet's still there. Should we wait 1 minute or just see, or have they gone? Well, I'm sorry to take away the mitzvah from Alan, but it seems like he may have lost internet.
Yeah, perhaps Stephen, would you like to read? I'm sorry to drop minutes, last minute.
I'll bring it up on screen. If you want to do the blessings, that'd be great.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha b'ni v'im tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'torah u'v'moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nbi'ei ha'emet bat tzedek.
Amen.
Then said Samuel to the people, "Come and let us go to Gilgal and renew the kingdom there." And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before the Lord in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices, peace offerings before the Lord. And there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. And Samuel said to all Israel, "Behold, I have listened to your voice in all that you said to me, and have made a king over you. And now behold, the king walks before you, and I am old and grey-headed. And behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood to this day. Behold, here I am. Testify against me before the Lord and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken, or whose ass have I taken, or whom have I defrauded? Who have I oppressed, or from whose hand have I received any bribe to blind my eyes with? And I will restore it to you." And they said, "You have not defrauded us nor oppressed us, neither have you taken anything from any man's hand." And he said to them, "The Lord is witness against you, and his anointed is witness this day, that you have not found anything in my hand." And they answered, "He is witness." And Samuel said to the people, "It is the Lord that advances Moses and Aaron, and who brought your fathers out of the land of Egypt. And therefore stand still, that I may plead with you before the Lord concerning all the righteous acts of the Lord, which he did to you and to your fathers. When Jacob came to Egypt, and your fathers cried to the Lord, then the Lord sent Moses and Aaron, who brought forth your fathers out of Egypt, and made them live in this place. And when they forgot the Lord their God, he sent them to the hand of Sisera, captain of the army of Hazor, and to the hand of the Philistines, and to the hand of the king of Moab, and they fought against them. And they cried to the Lord and said, "We have sinned, because we have forsaken the Lord, and have served Baalim and Ashtaroth. But now save us from the hand of our enemies, and we will serve you." And the Lord sent Jerubbaal and Bedan and Jephthah and Samuel, and delivered you from the hand of your enemies on every side, and you lived safe. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zu kol ha'olamim, tzaddik v'kol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer v'oseh, ha'medaber makayem, shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanvi'im, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, Kenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnucha, l'chaved u'latiferet, al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, u'mevaravkim otach, yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid la'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Makadesh HaShabbat.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for stepping in. Typically, just as you started, Alan and Janet sort of reappeared. So can I just apologise to you that I know Alan that was planning on reading the Haftorah didn't get an opportunity. But have you got anything, Alan, that you'd like to say about the Haftorah?
Yes, thanks, Kevin. Yes, the reason is we've got a brand new laptop and we hadn't quite worked out how to unmute ourselves.
It wasn't unmute.
But I was going to say that I was going to be reading the Haftarah in memory of Ivor York, whose yahrzeit we commemorate at this time of year following his passing 24 years ago. Ivor was a very close friend of Janet and me, and also of a number of other members of Mosaic Liberal. Cindy, we're thinking of you at this time and wish you long life.
Thank you, Alan. And again, sorry that the technology didn't work for you, but you'll get another chance.
Well learned, we're learning.
Okay, but well read, Stephen, with no preparation. 2 seconds preparation.
Thank you, Alan. And fittingly, Cynthia, you're going to read the prayer for the royal family on page 484.
Eternal God, whose dominion embraces the universe, we ask your blessing for our sovereign lady, Queen Elizabeth, and all the royal family, for those who govern our country and all who influence the quality of its national life. Make them conscious of their responsibility and teach them to exercise it in accordance with your will. May we all help to fashion in this country a society that excels in freedom and justice, tolerance and compassion, so that it may be a force for righteousness and peace in the life of humanity.
And Maureen, if I can invite you to read the prayer for the congregation. Maureen, are you ready for on page 484?
I think she's getting her prayer book. That is my guess. She doesn't know it off by heart yet. We'll wait for her.
Kevin, we haven't got full screen of pictures of everybody. It's still black from when the rabbi shared the screen.
Right, that's unusual. Has everyone else got a full screen?
Yes, it's fine for me. I think it's just Hepzibah's screen doing that.
Hepzibah's got. I think what you need, if you do start video, that can remove it. If you, it's right at the bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom towards the left. It looks like a suite.
Yeah, it says start video. It's fine, but nothing.
I don't know.
It's Maureen Lubert.
Maureen, please, if I can invite you to read, thank you. Kevin, I think maybe Maureen's. Would someone else like to read?
Someone else like to read? Alison, would you like to read it?
Please, Alison. Page, it's on page 484 at the foot of the page.
Yes. Eternal God, as you have blessed our ancestors in generations past, bless now this congregation, its leaders and its members, and all who enter this synagogue to meet, to study, and to pray. Comfort the sorrowing hearts among us and heal those in anxiety or pain. May we all find here community and friendship, renewal of purpose and hope, a deeper understanding of our heritage, and a sense of your abiding presence. Bless all congregations of the House of Israel throughout the world. Let those who lived under oppressive rule soon be free, and may we all unite to witness to your truth and do your will.
Thank you. And if I can invite George to read the prayer for the state of Israel.
Eternal God, our rock and redeemer, grant blessing to the state of Israel, created to fulfill an age-old dream and to be a haven for the oppressed. Inspire its leaders and citizens with faithfulness to the aims of its founders, to develop the land for the benefit of all its inhabitants, and to implement the prophetic ideals of liberty and justice. May they live in harmony with one another and in peace with their neighbors, and cause to come true once more the ancient vision that out of Zion shall go forth Torah and the word of God from Jerusalem.
Thank you. And for all these things, we say Amen. It's also the new moon this coming week. So I'm going to read the prayer at the page 485. Eternal One, our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month be for us a time of renewal. Grant to each one of us a long life of peace, welfare, and blessing, a life of prosperity and health, a life guided by conscience, unmarred by self-reproach or shame, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts may be fulfilled for good. Rosh Chodesh Tammuz, Yihyeh b'Yom Shlishi, the new month of Tammuz will begin on Tuesday. May it be the will of the Holy One ever to be praised, that it bring for us and for the whole house of Israel life and peace, happiness and joy, deliverance and consolation. And let us say, Amen. We turn to page 489, page 489, for the conclusion of our Torah service.
כי לך טוב נתתי להם, תורתי אל תעזובו. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה, ותאמריה מאושר. דרכיך נועם בכל נתיבותיה שלום, שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדש ימינו כקדם. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה, ותומך מאושר.
Thank you, Joseph. I'm listening to some beautiful new melodies that I've never heard before. It's wonderful. Thank you. So, Shabbat Shalom. In these lockdown days, we are interacting with each other online more than anything. And it makes me think that perhaps Facebook is like our water cooler in the office or the kitchen at the dinner party, where we all gather and catch up on the gossip, the social media. We catch up with the to and fro of life digitally rather than in person. Even those of us who are reluctant have find ourselves putting the telephone aside and using Zoom and social media to catch up. And we then find ourselves projecting into the real world a carefully crafted virtual reality. It's tricky that it doesn't become more like Facebook than Facebook. Now, I want you to imagine that you have a trophy cabinet that records the moments of growth in your life, you know, like they have at schools. What do you put in your cabinet? Is it the awards, the jobs, the relationships, the achievements? Absolutely. But where does our real growth come from? Not just from the successes. With this social media preserving a veneer of life, I think we've come to forget that it's not just about the highlights that we post about ourselves or our children, or the person who says that during lockdown they've learned 3 languages, finished writing their book, and managed to tour the British Museum and the V&A all in one day, and they're just waiting for the next challenge. No, our life is not just about these highlights, these personal triumphs, but also about challenges, those that are destructive and painful. I wonder if there's a way that we can include in our trophy cabinet the things that we find that have not been our successes, the things that make us whole through our brokenness. For that, I think we can look to the Talmud, which records an amazing concept. The Talmud becomes this document 1500 years ago that has a heuristic for our approach to life. It says we should increase in holiness, not decrease. So what do they mean by that? Let me give you an example that you will know about. What do we do at Hanukkah? Do we light one candle and then add another candle and another candle each night? Or do we start with 8 candles and decrease throughout the festival? We add. We add, the Talmud says, because we increase in holiness, we don't decrease. Another example, which I promise won't be relevant to you when I come to lead services at Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, relates to the high priest. The Mishnah, the rabbis record, says that they would have a backup high priest for Yom Kippur in case the high priest became somehow unable to perform his rituals on the holiest day of the year, and therefore they had a backup priest in waiting in case he became disqualified the night before. In fact, the Mishnah tells us they had a backup wife as well in case the high priest's wife became unavailable as well. But that's another story. So now the high priest who becomes disqualified the night before, what do you do with him? You now have a new high priest. What happens to the old high priest? We're told he can never go back to being just one of the priests at large, because once he's been at the heady heights of high priesthood, you can only ever increase in holiness, not decrease. And so we read about the fire pans of Korach. We read today. I added in a bit from the LJ lectionary, so we read it. The Korach rebellion is one against Moses' leadership, his apparent sense of superiority over everyone else. The fire pans, the incense smokers, are part of the rebellion. But instead of throwing them out, the fire pans are incorporated into the covering of the altar in the temple. Because the fire pans were increased in holiness, even rebel fire pans become part of the furniture of the sanctuary. And then the Talmud says something amazing about the first set of tablets which Moses receives. You remember back in the book of Exodus, Moses goes up to Mount Sinai, has the tablets in his hand, hears what's going on with the golden calf, and smashes them into pieces. What do you do with the smashed pieces of tablets? The Talmud tells us they were also put in the Ark of the Covenant. The Talmud tells us the tablets that were broken and the new set of tablets were both of them placed in the Ark of the Covenant, the trophy cabinet of the children of Israel, the holy object in the tabernacle, containing the holiest object in all of Israelites' history. The gift from God to the people contains not just the whole set that Moses refashions, but the smashed set too. Because we don't decrease in holiness, we only increase. This is what I call the Torah of brokenness, of second chances. Nearly everything in the Torah comes in twos, a failed first effort, sometimes a failed second effort, but that never means the end of the story. We do all fail or reach the heights and feel like we've fallen, and yet central to the narrative of the Torah is the idea of a second chance or a third chance. And the failure at first should be in our cabinet as well, just like the tablets in the ark. We should only ever aspire to increase in holiness. But then the Talmud says something that I think is particularly moving, a tribute to human frailty and splendor. Having heard that the tablets and the broken tablets were both of them placed in the ark, the Talmud goes on to say, from here we learn that a sage who forgets his learning by his own misfortune, one should not treat him with disrespect. A scholar who has forgotten his learning. So beautiful. People are likened to the broken tablets in the ark. We do not set aside people who seemingly no longer, we're told by someone somewhere, have no value to society, or whose grandeur seems to have been diminished, or whose vitality has been dulled. On the contrary, Judaism teaches we must protect, love, and support people. All those people, no matter if we're told their shine has been dulled or whose society tells us has lost their usefulness. Judaism tells us they are holy and we must only ever increase in holiness. In fact, we must ensure that we increase in holiness, all those whose lives have enriched our world. And during this COVID-19 pandemic, we've been challenged as a society, as a world, as communities, on how to think of everyone as a holy soul that needs guarding, lifting up in holiness and loving. We wonder who we let fall by the wayside and who and what should sit in the ark with us. Perhaps we even treat ourselves with harsh derision about our failures. But the Torah teaches us, the Torah of brokenness, of second chances, and of holiness. The moment of Korach's rebellion is a challenge to the life of the community in the wilderness, to Moses' leadership. How do they move on from this moment? How does it become part of who they are? The answer is in the fire pans. We accept that brokenness of the mind, of the heart, of the soul is part of what makes us who we are. And we build it into our sacred altar, into our trophy cabinet. We put the pieces in the holy ark, and we carry it, and we carry all of us around with us as our duty. So may we only ever learn to raise up ourselves and all those around us in holiness. And may this be God's will. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
So we're coming to the conclusion of our service. I'm not sure, Joseph, did you have a chance to?
I'll factor in what you suggested in the end, in the final song.
Okay? Lovely. So we're going to conclude with the Elena, which can be found on page 520. Page 520. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו לאחד את שמו, וגור עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומה שם יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו את הזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת יום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, מהשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתנו. Trusting in you, eternal God, we hope soon to behold the glory of your might, when false gods will vanish from our hearts and idolatry cease forever. Help us to perfect the world by bringing it under your unchallenged rule, when all will invoke your name, relinquish evil, and turn to you alone. May all who dwell on earth come to know that to you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you let them humble themselves, and to your glorious name let them give honor. Let all submit to your sovereign rule. May that time come soon and last forever. The ultimate sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written, the Eternal One shall reign forever.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
before we say the Kaddish, if anyone actually during the Kaddish prayer wants to unmute themselves just so they can feel part of the joint prayer, it may be slightly out of sync. Feel free to do that. It's a personal option if that will give you more strength during this important part of the service.
Thank you, Kevin. Creator of the universe, you give us life in which joys and sorrows are commingled in accordance with your wisdom, and you send death with its promise of eternal peace. Teach us to accept humbly and courageously whatever burden is laid upon us. Comfort those who mourn, and let the light of faith illumine the darkness of their sorrow with the hope of immortality. Strengthen us at all times with an unfailing trust in your providence. And on this Shabbat, those we're remembering from our community include Neville Collick, father of Sandra Rose, Flora Fash, mother of Barbara Lith, Diane Wilton, wife of Gerald Winton, and Ivor York, husband of Cynthia York. I pause for a moment if there's someone you're remembering at this time who you would like to name out loud or in your hearts in addition to those we're remembering. Pray that all that was good and noble in those lives continues to be for a blessing. Zichronam livracha, as we say together on page 524. Yit kadal v'yit kadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayei chon v'yomei chon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mavarach la'alam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithada v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudasha v'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, di'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei adam, v'imru amen.
Amen. And I would just like to add wishing Cynthia, Cindy or Fred, I'm still not sure.
You are so kind, thank you.
And strength, and it's, even though it's under sad, bittersweet circumstances, it's lovely to see you. And
thank you so much.
Your friends here.
Thank you. It's been a lovely service. Thank you very much.
And okay, I'd also like to send a thanks to Rabbi Neil, who we will be seeing again. I was going to say whether we like it or not, but we will like it. It was like, as I say, you talk about second chances. This is your first chance with us, and well, we are looking forward to seeing more of you, hopefully before the High Holy Days as well. However, we still don't know how the High Holy Days are going to work out, but I'm sure wherever we are, whatever platform we use, you're going to add something to the service. So thank you very much. And what actually resonates with me is about numbers should be renamed Complaining Jews, the Book of Complaining Jews, which happens anyway. And I was very moved by the healing prayer as well. So thank you for that. And also I think it's quite ironic, we're on the theme of brokenness, and both Alan before Haftorah crashed, and then Maureen was about to recite her prayer, and she, for some reason, technology became an enemy. But again, we're talking about second chances. You will get other opportunities to sort of enhance the service. And thank you again, Joseph, for accompanying. You blended in really, really well together. So that really added something to the service. Moving on, next Friday, we'll be leading the service joint with the Reform Movement. Brendan will be taking the service. They're good now because they're actually our proper joint services. We refer to the Reform Prayer Book as well, and we have equal numbers. So it's not just our service, it is literally a joint service. That's Friday. And next Shabbat, I believe, is it Joseph's taking the service? It's always reassuring when he does nod his head. But so we'll be looking forward to Joseph still singing and actually leading the service. I mean, for anything, there's quite obviously a lot more going on socially. So what I suggest is check the website. But I know there's a quiz tomorrow at 4 p.m. by Ashmole. What's his first? Ashmole. But I've done his quizzes before. I tell you, that's right, John Ashmole. My brain's still recovering from the last one. It's quite a challenging quiz, but it's sort of good fun. So that's tomorrow at 4 p.m. And there's other activities in the week. I really, suggest you look up what's going on because there's some good stuff to keep us going. So that's me done for announcements. Alan, have you got anything you want to?
Thanks, but no, nothing I can think of. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone? Any other? Right. All packed?
Yeah, it's not the quiz tomorrow. It's a photographic hobby.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. I've got to.
So if you get any of you that were going to go to the quiz, that would be really brilliant. But and everybody else as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Pat. I think I'm getting my days muddled up. I'm kind of losing track of time, but it's photography group tomorrow.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you to everybody for welcoming me so warmly into your community this morning. It's been a real pleasure to meet you all. And thank you to Joseph for accompanying me and helping me through the service, because I couldn't have done it without such beautiful music and singing. So thank you. And we're going to finish with
We'll finish with Adonai, and Neil suggested before that we try and at some point in the service work in We'll Meet Again, and in honour of Vera Lynn, who passed away this week, which is also very appropriate as it's kind of looks forward to a future time of gathering, so very relevant to this time. I'll just say, normally with American pop songs, you can look up the songwriter and find they're Jewish, so it all makes it great. British songwriters, not so much. But I just had a quick look, and her husband was Jewish, and they moved from Barking to Finchley after the war. What could be more Jewish than that? So deeply appropriate, surely. So Adonai Lam to We'll Meet Again. Now, do your best to fit it in, okay? Adonai Hashem Allah B'terem kol yitzin ivra Le'et nasa b'chefza kol Azai melech shemo nikra Ve'acharei kiklat ha'kol Leva'ado yimlok nora V'hu haya V'hu hovei V'hu yeh b'tifara V'hu ehad Bein sheni l'hamshilo l'chakbira Bali reshit, bali taklit, v'lo ha'oz v'hamizra V'hu eli, v'hai go'ali B'tzuchev li v'eit sahara V'hu nisi umanos li Manat kotsi b'yomekra B'yado avkidruhi B'et ishan ve'a'ira V'imruchi gaviati Adonai li v'lo
Brilliant.
Stunning.
Brilliant.
Joseph, that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I'm gonna, as I say, I don't care what the traditions are regarding
Thank you,
we don't applaud choristers, but I think that does deserve a round of applause. So that was Very wow, that was the way you fitted it in.
Absolutely beautiful and so fitting. Thank you. We'll meet again. Eloheinu v'lehei avoteinu v'imotenu. May our God and God of our ancestors bless us with the threefold benediction of the Torah. Yivarachenu Adonai v'yishmerenu. Yeh Adonai panav eleinu v'chunenu. Yisa Adonai panav eleinu v'yasem lanu shalom. May God bless us and keep us. May God look kindly upon us and be gracious to us. May God reach out to us in tenderness. And when we meet again, may God grant us the most precious gift, the gift of peace. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. And do we do a kiddush now? Or?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's a virtual kiddush. So if everyone's got wine, water, grape juice, or whatever their tipple is, feel free. And everyone, it's always nice if everyone wants to can unmute themselves.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely. Unmute.
And we're good. If we're out of sync, it doesn't matter at this stage.
No.
And Stephen, have you got a holler handy? It's tradition that Stephen leads Hamotzi, but
okay. So shall I do the kiddush and then Stephen do the hamotzi?
Yeah.
Lovely. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, l'doratam b'rit olam. Meni oti le'olam, Yisheshet yamim, asar Adonai et ha-shamayim, u'vayom ha'shvi, Shabbat v'yinafa. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam moreh
Amen. L'chaim.
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 Linda's not around today. Probably means that Adrian's working.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi
lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. That was a reminder why we normally have people on mute when.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. That was a lovely, lovely service. Thank you.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
I'd love to know how he's done.
Mary, we can still just about see you. You look like you're back at the water a little bit.
Yeah, there you move forward.
I'm there.
Also, Shabbat Shalom to those who are watching on streaming. We normally have about
Nice to see you.
We've got 5 to 10 people who actually watch us who aren't visible. So Shabbat Shalom to whoever you are.
Do lots of walking because they always have done lots of walking and probably going out.
They can see us, but we can't see them.
Right, I'm just leaving now. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, Rosemary.
What's the weather like in Hove?
Nice. The sun is shining. We had very little rain down here, and it's apart from missing you all, it's a lovely place to live.
I miss to always go down there for the cricket once a year, and that's something I've missed.
Well, Janet and Alan came down last year, and we all went together. That was great fun.
We will catch up there.
I only live 5 minutes away from the ground.
I'll bear that in mind next time I'm in home, but I can't.
Okay.
I missed my last train home.
Oh dear.
It's the most beautiful cricket ground I've ever been. Of all the cricket ground, it's like a proper cricket ground. Sometimes you go to other grounds and make them into sports stadiums.
Well, it's the county ground, so it's quite good.
And we have plenty of seagulls there. Very interesting.
I've got,
because they come and snatch your sandwiches.
I must admit, I have got proof of that when I get home as well. You'd like to send me a message from up above, that's all I can say on that one.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. I've got an important football match to watch now.
Enjoy, Steve. Enjoy.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shalom. Bye-bye. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ursula, is Ursula still here?
She's gone.
How
It
did
was a
mum?
lovely
She was okay.
service.
Was mum
Very-
okay with it?
Pardon?
Was your mum okay? Because I think it's the first time we've seen her on Zoom. How did she manage, do you think?
Well, she managed to. I don't know. I have to ask her.
Let her know, if she, and if she needs any help, that's good to see her. Look at Hannah doing her somersault. We got
Hannah's upside down.
yeah.
By the way, I didn't receive the email with the link.
Yeah. If you have any problems, let me know. But look at Hannah, that is very impressive. How long can she manage that for?
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank
Kevin,
you
for your
so
help.
much.
Thank you, Mel.
Welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin, for your help. Thank you so much.
So much. And we'll be in contact. We'd like you to do at least one more service before the actual main big event, but you'll be more than well. We'll be in contact about that when you're
sure.
When you're
Okay.
free.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye, Neil.
Bye-bye.
Bye, little bye, Georgie.
Bye.
Bye.